It is now 6:35. Do you want to call the meeting to order?
First items to Pledge of Allegiance.
Yeah. Can we
Flags,
stand?
flags behind us.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, can we have the roll call?
Roll call vote. Chair Lozano. Co-chair Baisden. Daniels.
Present.
Hunter.
Present.
Martin. Herrera. Richardson.
Here.
Smith.
Present.
Perry. All right. Do we have any secondaries that are currently up here on the?
Don Jordan's here for Pat Basin.
Thank you, sir. I apologize. I'm new to this. Welcome.
Any communications?
No communications.
Community forum?
Through the chair, no members of the public have signed up for a community forum online. However, if there are any members of the public there present, they should just go to the podium and begin to speak, stating their name and turning on the microphone.
There it is. Thank you, committee members, chairs, co-chairs, and everybody else. My name is David Belliff. I am speaking as a private citizen today, not as a member of any other committee or any other city official. Some of you know me. I used to sit where you're sitting a while ago. I just wanted to thank you all for the previous vote of the last meeting where you decided to investigate the what to do with the leftover funds from previous cycles, as well as what to do with the money regarding the student leadership team. I'm hoping they will get their money somewhere, but from a different source. So for tonight, and if you have any questions regarding what's on the agenda, I'm happy to address them later at that time when that comes up when that item comes up. But for now, just a general thing I'd like to mention is when it's time to review the rule book, to definitely consider going back to some of the things that had previously been done. In other words, prior to cycle 7, I believe it was, when the change was first made, the steering committee was not involved in the choosing of projects for the ballot. It was separated. It was the budget delegates who came up with which of these projects will be pushed forward and worked on. The steering committee's job was to support them in their efforts. The problem with having the steering committee choosing it is it becomes less of the quote people's decision, because budget delegates are a larger group of people, for one thing. Second of all, they theoretically are closer to the community and the projects they're trying to see go through. When it's inside in the steering committee's decision-making purview, then it's not as transparent. Theoretically, it is transparent because the meetings here are public, correct? They are all public, but as you can see, not too many people in the public actually attend them. So I would encourage that revision in the rule book. And then another revision that has been suggested many times over and almost came to pass had to do with the types of projects that could be included on the ballot and the types of projects that could be pushed forward, meaning that projects were supposed to be completed, able to be completed. And a quick example would be potholes. Pothole filling can never be completed because it's a continuous maintenance issue. So in theory, that should not be allowed. So thank you. There's plenty more. I can ask any questions later. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any online?
No other speakers at this time, Chair.
He said no. All right, report from the council liaison.
Chair Jordan. I'd like the record to state that my my alternate, Dr. Annetta Ward Clark, is secondary and she's here as well.
Thank you. So the council liaison's not here tonight?
Not at this time.
Through the chair, the council liaison is currently in the meeting for the city council.
Oh, thank you. All right, consent calendar, approval of agenda. Can I get a motion?
Chair Jordan.
Uh-huh.
So moved to accept the agenda as is with no necessary correction.
Okay.
Second.
We got a motion and a second by Ms. Daniels. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Number 8, discussion items. A, participatory budgeting cycle 9 discussion.
Hello, everybody. I added this on so that we could have an open discussion about planning out cycle 9. It should be starting soon, let's call it. According to the rule book, idea collection starts in August. We usually open up the online portal before then so we can start collecting ideas. The challenge we have this year is there are no staff actually signed up for participatory budgeting. We don't have, both of the staff positions are vacant. So we've got a certain amount of my time that I'm trying to wrestle, but we're going to need a lot of help from volunteers and from the committee to get us across the finish line this year. We don't have Floor, that was basically the heart and soul of this for years. The rule book's not on the agenda. We can put the rule book on the agenda if we wanted to talk about that at the next meeting. I didn't add it just to try to keep us on goals and ideas for this this round of PB.
Anybody else have a discussion? Ms. Daniels?
Through the chair. Exactly when are we going to start cycle 9?
I think officially we start in August is the way the rule book's laid out. We tend to turn everything on online before then. And of course, meetings would be happening, meetings with the schools, you know, farmers market, that kind of stuff. We usually start around April as well. That gives us some good lead time to build up the discussion about PB and get people excited before we actually hit it, idea collection. And then we have the online form available if somebody has a completed idea, which often happens with last season's ideas that maybe didn't make it. They can be submitted in total, and that kind of jump starts the discussion on those items.
Ms. Smith?
Yes, Jason, just to clarify,
So we're gonna start the outreach in April. So we're gonna need volunteers to start that process.
That would be most advantageous, yes.
Okay, do we already have materials and everything? Or we need to design that too?
I need to look at what's available from prior cycles and see what can still be carried over. We might need to do some kind of upkeep on, some documents, but that's an excellent question.
Well, let me know. I'll volunteer my time, so I'm definitely will work on it with you.
Anybody else? Oh, you gotta push that button.
Thank you, Chair. I wanted to inquire about being a representative for the process at educational facilities, churches, or at the community centers. One of the major points of outreach is the personal visitation by one or more of us. There's lots of stakeholders out there. Housing units, Glen Cove has their community, their housing association. So I'd like to volunteer my time in discovering who we can visit, retirement homes, for example, and how we can schedule ourselves to have outreach meetings with these housing associations and faith-based organizations. So I'd like to throw my name into there about exploring that.
Ms. Hunter? Oh, I saw your finger hovering around the buttons. Anybody else? You gotta hit your button.
I have a question. How do we take on the inclusion of communities that are under attack by President of the United States?
I don't think that's participatory PB.
Well, we're trying to mobilize people to come and vote. See, in cycle 6,
Mhm.
we did a lot of tables at the adult school. We communicated directly with the bilingual teachers. We did them in front of the little chocolerias, little restaurants. But do we risk endangering people by putting up a tent where these kinds of people will be attacked?
I mean, that's a good point. I know in Minneapolis, a lot of stores have shut down or doing home deliveries and things like that. The good thing about PB is that you can vote online. Yeah. So it's not like we are exposing people to stuff. So if they don't want to come out, they can still vote online.
We can still do outreach by sending mailers or going and dropping them off and everything, so they don't have to be out in the public. Yeah.
They can also, the voting process for PB is available on their phones also, cell phones.
A lot of them, we do a weekly food distribution at our house. A lot of people, their phones are on or off. So we lose contact with them.
Mr. Herrera? Yeah,
I'm next on the stack.
yeah, the same.
Well, that's a good point about serving underrepresented people and some of the chaos that is attached in the current political climate. So I'll definitely consider that when talking about what I previously mentioned. But what I am most concerned with is the role of both analyst and clerk. These positions are frozen, and obviously hiring would be considered because these are professional people that would be brought into those positions. How can we move forward without a professional analyst, for example? What is the role of an analyst? What does this person do if we cannot hire an analyst? How can we step in to replicate the role of that position?
Mr. Jordan.
Ms. Hunter?
Chair, yes. So I'll serve with Mr. Herrera in regards to outreach as well, the discovery. And so since you thought my hand had moved, so now it has moved. I will serve with Mr. Herrera, and I believe my secondary, Dr. Clark and I, so that's a party of 3.
Okay, I think his main discussion was how can we move forward without a professional from the city?
My volunteering was to assist him with discovery.
Okay.
We will.
I
if he wants to
appreciate
take
that.
on- If he wants to take on.
Yeah.
In regards to the analyst, I'm willing to help there as well.
Discovery.
Right, volunteering for.
Mm-hmm. That's the key word here, because as a committee, we're going to try and discover what we can do to step up and replicate what the role of the analyst was. But that's separate from outreach, and I thank you for, okay, let me get your number before I go early. I'm gonna have to excuse myself pretty soon.
Sure. And there's veteran PB folks here on the board that have served with Flow. So we know, and through with the rule book, I think that we will be able to replicate and build on the work that Flow was doing. And then we have delegates who are very much aware of where we should be and be a compass. So I think we'll be fine. And if we run into problems, we have Mr. Ackley, and we still have access to Floor.
All right, any other discussion? Sure.
Thank you, Dave Belliff again, prior PB steering committee. I think I'll be honest with you, when I first joined as a budget delegate, I was actually surprised at how much was going through the city manager's office. And I thought that the delegates and the steering committee would be doing 90% of the work, not the other way around. So to that, through the city manager's office, first of all, obviously you need the timeline, and there, I know for a fact that we've had printed lists of prior, turned off. It was off for the previous meeting. There are lists of the timelines and what needs to be done by what date, et cetera, et cetera. So just reuse the old stuff. And then it comes down to, what is the city manager going to allow as far as access to files that need printing, changing the dates, times, things of that nature. But most everything else is already there. All you need to do is update them with dates and times. Maybe a little refresh here and there, but everything else is ready to go other than printing, et cetera. So I think the steering committee and delegates and other people that you enlist to help can get it done. And that's what I say. And that brings up to the volunteers. So we have a volunteer coordinator in the city manager's office, and that was supposed to help in these situations, getting people involved in the city process. And this is one of the city processes. So I think it can be done even if an analyst isn't hired for that position.
Through the chair.
Ms. Daniels?
Yes, because even in the beginning, as a member of the steering committee, we all did whatever was necessary so because we are volunteers, so we did a lot of the
Legwork.
and we did a lot of the legwork and the outreach and the inputting of data and creating the research forms along with UC Berkeley. So, and to David's expressions, the majority of it is all done, and it's a matter of, you'll probably have to change some contact people, the dates for the timeline and et cetera. But I believe as a steering committee and those of us who are serious and really want the PB process to work, it can get done.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
This is Herrera. I'm going to ask for the chair to excuse me. I have another obligation.
You're excused. If there's no other discussion, go to item B, committee discussion and questionnaire regarding MRG report.
All right, this one's me. I'm not sure who on our committee is aware, but the city manager's office had hired a consultant to look at the city's boards and commissions and give us a report back on best practices, things that could be helpful, as well as consolidation or reducing the amount of boards and commissions that we had. As part of that, I've got 5 little discussion questions that I need to go through that could hopefully drum up some conversation. I don't assume anybody's read the report. If they have, that's great. It's available. I can actually give out copies if anybody needs a copy. But City Council, when we brought the report to them, asked us to come back to boards and commissions and get their personal thoughts and opinions on this. So if you don't mind, Chair, I would like to just run through this list of questions and
Yes, sir.
have some discussion.
Yes, sir.
All right. Do we all believe that we have the necessary training and tools to help us be effective in our roles? And if not, what could improve?
Smith. So read it. I did it.
Okay.
And the packet that you provided for us via email actually did give more history to PB, the whole process. So I think that's a thorough enough information, and then also put into action, right? We can always read stuff, but actually put into action. So far as PB, yes. Oh, the information is sufficient of understanding the process for PB, yes, in our role.
Ms. Daniels?
Yeah, I think we have sufficient training and abilities to do what, to perform our role as a steering committee or a budget delegate. And about that MGR report, I remember them discussing about combining different commissions and eliminating others. I didn't get a clarification of what was their actual outcome for PB. However, I do recall that I don't see where it was going to be eliminated or even merged with another commission. And one of my questions is once that's clarified, if they do choose to eliminate it, because it was a 10-year promise of that 1% sales tax. So if they eliminate the participatory budgeting, which I pray that they don't, what happens to the funding that the people are actually providing? That wasn't clarified one way or the other.
PB and this committee is in an interesting spot because they're attached to the process. So they weren't really looked at in the same way as advisory committees were. There were thoughts on maybe merging some advisory committees that have similar overlap of what they're in charge of. PB basically was kind of not really the focus of this report, because as long as the process is here, we need you all, and we plan on having the process. So, it wasn't brought up.
Okay,
Through the chair.
yeah, Ms. Hunter?
In the report, the 61 pages that was sent to us, potential changes to the BCCs is listed on page 10 through 12, I think, and it does not mention participatory budgeting as Mr. Ackley was saying. So if you just want a shortcut and turn to those pages, you'll see who's being combined, who's being eliminated, and did not mention participatory budgeting.
Did you have response to the question? The first question that was asked?
In regards to training,
Correct.
I believe that we have enough anchor steering committee, and that those who are new, that we can do on-the-job training if needed. but you want to make sure you're being trained by the right trainer. So I just believe that, yes, we have enough folks that are, like I said, anchors who have been here for years, and we'll have an opportunity to make changes as needed. So I believe that we're ready to go.
Thank you. Mr. Richardson?
I agree.
All right. Question 2.
Question 2. Do you feel the
Excuse me,
topic that
through
you're,
the Chair, you did not ask Mr. Perry. He's sitting here.
I thought you say it was new. Oh, Mr.
He
Perry?
still has a voice.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't have any comments at the moment, but meeting Patricia, hopefully she'll train me well enough.
Oh, yeah. You're in good hands. Question number 2.
question number 2. Do you feel that the topic that we oversee is easily understandable, focused, and reflects the work that we do? This one's an interesting question because PB is PB, so.
So yes.
Do we have a unanimous yes? Okay. Number 3.
Do you believe that having a defined goals and a work plan would help us be more effective?
I think
I
so.
think we do.
I mean, we have a
Because
rule book.
Yeah.
Yes, our goals are definitely defined. Does anybody else have any comments on that? No? Okay. Question 4.
Do you feel that the recommendations you make flow through to city council?
That's a good question.
I'll let y'all speak to that.
Ms. Daniels?
Through the chair. Sometimes, yes. I won't say yes for all the times because we all have a difference of opinion of how things should run or could run. We all have visions. And when we started, for example, the age question was a battle for years. Because if you want to get the youth engaged so that the time they become young adults or adults, you have to start when they're at that age to where they're going to soak in and enjoy what they're learning so they can carry it on. And that's why we fought so hard for the age to be dropped to 14. Because if you don't grab them if you don't grab them then, or even at a younger age, because our youngest budget delegate was 11 and he was phenomenal. So we have to get them when we can capture their attention. So it just depends on, and we got a whole new council that is really a great council and open to engaging in our future, which is our youth. So I don't think it's going to be a problem.
Chair Jordan.
Ms. Hunter?
I believe that I agree with Ms. Daniels, and the example that she used was a great example, but the question is in regards to moving it through the council. How things to get moved through the council is that we must show up and we must speak out. So I believe that if this steering committee is willing, then we are able to meet, we're able to make requests, and we'll be able to work with the city manager as well as the council. So the burden is not on them, the burden is on us. And if we want to see things move, then we have to be that moving agent. And I believe that we're ready.
Thank you. Mr. Perry?
No comment.
Mr. Richardson?
Has the voting age changed from cycle 6, cycle 7?
I don't think so.
Still the same.
Still 14.
How many people with PB experience were on the city council?
Let me think.
It's been a while since I've been to a council meeting, but I remember at least one because we sat close to each other when I was on PB.
I don't know. No, on city council.
Yeah.
I think the only one would be
We have
Peyton
two,
Spears.
we have two liaisons. And I believe that, again, it's a training, being accurate with our reports, making sure our information is on time, that they can receive it in the packet, and I think they can be well versed. So I don't think that in regards to training for PB, it's what we give to them in regards to the work that we're doing by the help of the delegates, the help of and the work that we do as a steering committee. And I believe Mr. Davis is going to keep us in line because I think he'll be here every meeting. So, so there are vacancies if you're looking to join.
Yeah.
But just believe it's the work that we need to do to provide to them.
Yeah, for me, it has always been the biggest conflict I ever had with PB was paving of the roads. From the very beginning, I thought that wasn't right, and it was something that the city council I think pushed through. I'm talking about way back when it first happened. The potholes, paving the streets. I never thought PB money should be used for that, and that was something that the city council pushed through. And then, like Miss Daniels said, getting the vote down, that was a big thing for me. That the council we had a hard time getting through. And I think that's I for me personally, I don't want to see anything that the city has mandated to do has come through PB. Yeah, everything through PB should be for the people and not for the city, because the city's already gotten our tax money.
I agree.
And that was my biggest issue with city council getting things done, having things pushed that I didn't think was right. That's all I had. All right, number 5.
Number 5, do you feel that consolidations of boards, commissions, or committees with overlapping focuses would be a positive step? And if so, do any come to mind?
Is that your light still green, or did you want to speak first?
Yeah, I'll speak first.
Mr. Richardson?
Overlapping, as if it's a budgetary necessity, sometimes it's the worst medicine. So in concept, yeah. In reality, you got to know how both pieces of that puzzle are going to fit together. Otherwise, you've screwed things up worse.
Well, thank you. Ms. Smith?
There we go. Just based on the report, the MRG report, they did make recommendations, I believe 3 or 4 committees consolidating. Based on the recommendations, if the committees think they're overlapping and they can actually work together and be stronger together, why not? There's no reason to have them split if they're doing the same work or similar work and they can help each other out.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Daniels? Ms. Daniels?
I agree if just like Ms. Smith said, if the committee's roles, the commission roles are similar, like beautification and arts. And now that would make a sensible combination. And so, and if those participants on those commissions can work together, then the beautification probably could get more creative learning from the arts and accomplish the goals that they want seen. So yeah, it makes sense for some boards and commissions. I don't know how it's going to work with the other. There's, I think 3 others that they wanted to combine. But that was the first one came to mind to me.
Ms. Hunter?
I think I'll say no comment.
Thank you. Mr. Perry?
No comment at the moment.
All right. Yes.
As a termed out chair from a county committee, I have experience in this because I chaired a committee that used to be combined, and then we discovered that there were so many issues that were separate from that it was better to separate the two committees.
Mm.
With that being said, and they are separate to this day. With that being said, I also advocate for saving money when it comes to staff and workloads, et cetera. So whenever there was a presentation that would be presented to both committees, whether it was through the county staff or Caltrans or whatever it might have been, I advocated that we do a combined meeting. And we do combined meetings on the county level many times. Usually a minimum of once a year, sometimes twice a year. We combine a couple of the other committees into a single joint meeting. And I firmly believe in doing things of that nature to save time, effort, and money on everybody's part. But when it comes to each individual committee having their say, it can be very difficult to have that many people in one room.
Right. For me personally, the city of Vallejo has had budgetary issues, and they have used those budgetary issues to silence the voice of the citizens on different commissions. Um, Human Relations Commission used to meet monthly, and they dealt with police issues, and now they meet 4 times a year. So they basically are worthless. I mean, what can you do meeting 4 times a year? So for me personally, it's to have the citizens. I like that they got this report, but now go out to the city and see what the citizens feel about the current commissions and what they should do with them. Because our budget constraints have limited the voice of the people in city government. All righty. And I think that was it, right? Is there any other question?
That was it. Thank you for the discussion.
Oh, yeah. Can you say that?
Just I guess two things. One, the report, speaking of the committees consolidating, they actually recommended to, if they do consolidate, to cut the members down. So it won't be, if it's 10, it won't be 20. It'll be like 7 to 8 or less, I believe. And then also speaking to you, Don, your question or comment about having it public, they did actually recommend as well in the report to bring it to the community as well to vote as well. The survey to the community to give their input as well. That was one of the recommendations.
That's fantastic. All
So
right.
through the chair, that's a great recommendation. The reason I stood down is because I serve on Participatory Commission. I don't serve on the other commissions. I watch. And for me, as Mr. David was sharing, I'll just say, because I serve on this commission, I don't know what happens in their house. I know what happens in our house.
Right.
So I'd rather just stand down and allow the commissions to work that out.
Thank you. Would there be no other, is there any other discussion? With there being none, move to item number 9, action calendar.
We actually don't have anything on the action calendar.
Do we have any discussion before we adjourn?
Not so much discussion, but a comment or a question or request. Jason, are you going to send us an email just outlining what we need to do or what positions or role you would like people to fill to assist with Cycle 9? So we get that started, the conversations, and get those calendars together.
Yeah, I can talk to Floor and dig up some of the older paperwork and such, and I'll reach out and see. I mean, a lot of it comes down to just volunteering at different events and that kind of thing. So we'll get you a list together, and that should be easy enough.
Perfect. Thank you.
And I have a question. There are some commissioners that were to be re-interviewed, and they continue to push the date back. Do you have an accurate date? Because it went from October to December, and now we're in January. And since we're talking about volunteering, we will volunteer, but we'd like to make sure those that need to go through the interview process, that happens.
Is that through the clerk's office? I think the interview process.
Yeah, so you as our liaison, if you can, and make sure that you speak with the clerk so that we have that information as well.
Absolutely, I'll jump on that.
Seeing Oh, did you have something to say?
Jason, I'm not certain if you meant, are the interviews through the clerk's office as in you set them up or do the actual interviews? Is that what your question
Oh.
was?
Were we speaking about interviews of people that sit on this board and
Yes.
committee? Yes, that is through the clerk's office.
They've
Right,
delayed
so-
interviews. That's all. They've delayed the interviews. We know that the city council members will be doing the interviews, but some of us the way that our cycle is run, they've pushed the interviews back.
Right. So to be clear, the interviews are performed by the council, but the city clerk's office, I guess, set up the dates and times and coordinate it.
All right, seeing no other discussion, I ask for a motion to adjourn.
So move. Motion.
Moved by Hunter, second by Richardson. Thank you very much and have a beautiful evening.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.